Yeah, so back keeping the ball on the ground. No words, he's want to talk.
That was flat as anything. Go again.
No,
Yes, I'm back keeping the ball on the ground. Start up there.
It's a flat day.
Just take it away, Paul.
It's a flat day.
It's going to be an hour of tactics. It's going to be an hour of tactics.
Can you do it again but make it a lot quieter?
Is that why you're dressed in black? Is it kind of
Yes, we've got to keep the ball on the ground.
It has to be really quiet.
Flatter than Ange ball, innit? Ange ball's burst, Paul.
Honestly.
The ball's burst.
The swing's gone, innit? Nice swing left.
What you showing us, Paul?
No, I'm just setting myself up for when we go into this sector.
Sector?
Yeah.
Section?
We're starting off with it.
We'll start with straight on here.
No, we'll start soon, but what I'm saying is...
We thought he was going up to the fort to buy bibs and markers for soccer sport, but supposedly he's just been sitting on the machines outside boots.
Aye, but it'd be tight.
£1 coins in the cars.
trampolines?
Try to catch a teddy with a claw.
What happened, Paulin? Can you talk us through it? Before we start, lads, Grosvenor Sport. I know we're flat, but they're always...
He had a big derby
They're always high as a kite.
Big derby yesterday, Andy, didn't they?
Aye, great result.
Away from home.
Unbeaten now. 24 unbeaten. Unbelievable.
And they're away international week as well. Other players are away international. Every single
one.
Bet £10 and you get £30 in free bets for new customers.
And sign up today at gsport.com/
Open goal.
Well done, Andrew.
Brilliant. Right, thoughts on the game, lads? More bad news before we start, just to make your weekend even worse. Your velvet suit has been chucked in a skip. Found it yesterday.
You're joking.
No.
Charlie, wasn't
It was in Charlie's house, but he chucked it in a skip.
Yes, he chucked it yesterday. Or
No, it got chucked last week. But there was songs in the top pocket.
No.
There was. Says there was a piece of paper with hundreds of songs written on it.
What's that?
He's kept it.
Protein bar wrappers.
He's gonna bring it.
Right, okay. Is it what he's kept the paper?
Kept the paper with the songs on it.
Songs on it?
Someone who's Sarah.
Paul?
Do you think that's the most legendary? Piece of... What's the word I'm looking for? Something that's related to open goal that's none of us.
velvet suit?
It's got to be in that velvet suit. It's got to be...
I should have been framed.
Infamous, innit?
But we've not spoke to the boys. Hydro's green light.
Yeah!
Unbelievable.
Tremendous.
He's trying to keep it quiet.
Unbelievable.
Last year, request kept that are going to turn the radiators up to that heat. They can get there.
Aye,
Since the fire alarms are sensitive to, so he can't be on the radiator and farting, or the fire alarms will go off.
Big Jim's gone. Big Jim's...
Is he coming?
He's panicking.
We've got you a padded dressing room as well, what you asked for.
Love to see in his dressing room with you.
Leather bath.
Are we still having our own dressing rooms?
Yeah.
Go to the mirror on the ceiling.
Aye, good. Is Paul's the one with the handcuffs and chains on the walls?
Aye, I meant me on that. I've got mine, ain't I? I've got mine.
You have got you then?
Who are you taking? We need to get a balcony for Susan, didn't we?
We'll take her.
She needs to drink.
Aye, 100%.
Oh, by the way,
She's on.
Andy Harley's mother.
Oh my God! Very flirty, very flirty.
Yeah, she's an angel.
She's gorgeous, isn't she?
What a woman.
Do you know what I imagine? I thought your man would be like a wee old...
baldy.
A wee old... a wee baldy on my attached.
Falsers in.
Mate, she's pure glamorous, man.
Aye, you're right, alright.
Up the West End, she had a wee juicy.
Aye, but she was, see if Andy was going to get into trouble, wasn't he, for talking to us? That's what she kept saying, wasn't it? You quite harsh
That's
on
not
her?
me, mate.
How did you know it was his mum?
She came up to us.
Did she? Aye.
She don't let Andy know he'll kill me,
They'll
but
kill me.
what a woman.
Decent.
What'd you do?
You cuddled a wee bit too many
Too much.
times.
Touch her?
Wee bit. Nah, what a woman. Nah, lovely. But
I'm glad you've met her, boys.
I know, so she'll need to come. Why don't we just get a balcony for the four Maz?
That'd be decent.
That would be good.
You're a Neil, innit?
Mate, your mom stole the show, mate. Any live show she turned up though.
What's your man like, Kev?
Ah, she's alright.
She's doing the door, actually, your man.
My mum's like Slaney's mum.
Wentworth. Nice.
My mum's like Slaney's mum. Just a wee
I give everybody's
hard-working
man's
woman.
like that,
Just a wee hard-working woman that
8 foot.
8 foot. She's not that big, she's only 5'8". 18.
Is she tall, Kev? Seriously?
About 5'8", 5'6"? I don't know. 5'6"?
Nah, it's not tall.
Nah.
5'6" is alright, actually. Isn't it? No.
Does she wear heels?
About you? 5'7"?
5'4".
Alright, so what's the date for the Idol?
The date is the 3rd of October on the Sunday.
Some huge guests.
And the Sunday obviously is the perfect day because most of football games are on a Saturday, innit? So Sunday night, everybody will be free. So listen, we'll pick whatever top celebrity we want to come in. So I mean, so
Yeah.
don't be worrying who's coming. We'll pick the best what we know is needed. So
It's crazy how much though that people are phoning up now. It's been a green light. Try to get on the show with us.
Embarrassing.
It's hard to think.
Who's been asking? Who's asked to come on?
Well, Craig Levine was one.
Craig Levine, John McGlynn with specs.
Craig Brown.
Where's the specs?
Craig Brown, because he heard there was an after party, didn't he? What a man.
Davy Martindale stopped phoning me.
Davy Martindale, does he want a ticket?
Fuck, he's desperate for 2 tickets.
Did he slaughter people?
Craig Brown didn't want a seat to, didn't he? He wanted a radiator next to the jet.
I read that.
Paolo's saying they drink it.
They drink it.
Because we go blurry.
Go blurry at the Hydro, they drink. Who's drinking at it?
Chipper. Aye.
After professional.
All day.
Aye, professional, innit?
Yeah.
Before it.
Serious, he done.
It's going to be the biggest party of the.
Have you
The
tried
year.
to get Paolo Di Canio on now?
I've
For the Hydro?
messaged him about 5 times in his party.
For the Hydro, is not
Nah,
happening.
he's not coming.
Did you go? You
Could
go
be another
on
bigger
there,
name.
didn't
Could be a bigger name.
Aye.
you?
Fingers crossed.
That's bigger than the Canio, mate.
Huge.
Yeah,
By the way, I need to say about Charlie's yesterday. Do you want the words for the horse's mouth? Hearts are the best team they've played this year, and Andy was very good.
Did he? Aye.
First half especially, that's the best we've played this season, hands down.
Says you were brilliant.
Aye, first 60 minutes to be fair, well, I thought were really good. Usually though, any game you're not going to control it for 90 minutes, so Dundee United's spell a dominance was probably about 60 to 70 minutes. We changed shape after that, tried to just hold on and counter-attack them, but aye, we were excellent.
We'll come to that a bit, but do you remember you had the big canvas of him and his boys up in the living room? It's now taken down. Him and Tam Courts looking at a tactics plan.
They're chill.
Brilliant.
Any big words for Tam at the
Aye,
weekend?
Dubai come out a few times.
What?
Dubai.
What does that mean?
Dubai.
I'm presuming
It's going to Dubai? An international bit?
I'm presuming in the context it was said debate.
Right.
So he was saying like there was a kind of
Charlie was talking about it yesterday, so mate.
Was he?
Do you want a beverage or not? I was like, mate, just get us a drink, for fuck's sake.
Aye.
Even his text.
They're a good team though, by the way, as well.
You didn't need to just
No,
say that
no,
because he
generally-
said that about you.
No, generally, listen, I'm saying I thought we battered them the first 60 minutes, but you can tell they're a good team. I thought that, I don't know, I thought, just like, every time you watch Dundee United, they're full of energy. They're high pressure all over the place, you've got boys with legs, but I thought they looked quite flat out of possession against us, so it allowed us to build up and play. But for the best part, you can see when certain players get the ball, they've got quality. The boy Fuchs in the middle of the pitch is
Good player, isn't he, Fuchs?
Really
How was Charlie?
He was decent, aye, but he probably spent most of his time defending, never really...
I thought you were going to say flicking his hair back.
No.
He had a good free kick. They had a couple of decent chances. Dundee United, big Craigie Gordon.
World
Second
free
best
kick,
keeper in the league.
Would he make a few good saves again?
Aye.
Mate, they had, so that's what I mean, see between 60 to 70 minutes, they had like 3-4 good chances.
Why do you think that
for
was?
Craigie.
Tired for your work?
Every game,
Aye, couldn't you got a
somebody's
spell,
got to have a spell, isn't they? And
A smell or a smell?
Smell.
The off
Steve Bruce's favourite part of the game, isn't it?
But see on that canvas, the point at the tactics book, that Charlie's got his hand on his arse. I don't know. That's a bit.
Mate, he's a good, seems sound to him as well. I never
time.
spoke to him, but
Big DC.
aye, seems sound.
Right, we'll get to the game. Who wants to go? Kev, you can go first. What's your thoughts on the
I've
game?
obviously watched the game with a couple of Rangers friends. Thought the game
Are you
was
back in the
even.
Rangers camp now? How last week?
It's only I've only
Back to being a Rangers fan, right? There we go.
No, the only two mates I've got up here are Rangers fans. So no, I thought that. I thought
Bibsy?
No,
He's been hiding it.
What's happening?
Bibsy's fell off a radar. I think Celtic played quite well. So did Rangers. I think I said for a while that although Rangers haven't started the season quite well, it only takes a game to get things started. And I think yesterday was probably the game that has got their season started. And I think you'll see them maybe like no crack on, but they'll perform better weekly. The chance Edward had was a big opportunity in the match that had that Celtic go 1-0. Maybe silence the crowd. You've got to score at that time, and then what you end up doing is you give a team that's Celtic probably had the more dominance in the first half. I think people would agree with that. Ryan Kent's had a good opportunity. I think a confident Ryan Kent possibly would put that away.
What, when he hits the post?
When he hits the post, I think he's got to. I
Right,
genuinely think it is quality. I think Andy would maybe agree or disagree, but.
You think he's maybe disagree?
No, I think sorry, I got that wrong. I think he might agree. But
What a guy.
I just think that second half Rangers came out far better. Started the game far better in the second half. Put Celtic on the back foot, and Celtic never really recovered. And then the thing that's let Celtic down last season and potentially this season is set plays. And again, they've succumbed to another set play. And then when I felt like he took forever to make a change.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he should have had. I think he had Edward off quicker. I think he possibly could have took Turnbull, Christie, could have been any of the midfield ones off quicker. And just freshen up a wee bit, Furuhashi up through the front. And I think he got a few opportunities because ultimately when Rangers went 1-0 up, they brought on Lundstram, they were obviously going to sit a bit deeper. So that allowed for Rogic to get on the ball a wee bit higher up and played a couple of balls. And it looked like for me, Goulson dropped too deep and he possibly could have stayed a wee bit higher. Maybe Furuhashi could have played offside. And then again, you can look at the two chances. Should you have squared the first one? Should you have shot the second one? Vice versa. It's big games, big opportunities, and you make the wrong choice, ultimately it costs you.
Great analysis.
I think that's how the
Podcast
game...
on it.
I think that's how it is. Andy, do you agree or disagree though?
You need to do one.
But that's how I saw it, and I thought I don't look at it and think Celtic's going to be miles behind Rangers like they were last year. I think the signs are better than what they were last year.
Yeah.
It's just when you're on top in moments in the game, you've got to take those critical opportunities, and Celtic didn't do that.
You like that when you're on top?
Oh, mate,
And
you're on top. You've just got, it's about timing sign and Celtic just won the attic yesterday.
Angles.
It's all,
What angles you come for?
it's all about the angles, though, isn't it, actually?
What about you, Paul?
Paul, you want to add to
The
that?
angles.
Man.
Paul, take it away, come on. It's what people are waiting for.
You're looking flat and rough, the hair's all over the place.
I'm going to just fit away. I'm not caring anymore. No, do you know what? Seriously, it was embarrassing the last couple of weeks to be pundits not were acting as Ange Ball and not as shit. Him to put things into perspective. Gerrard's been there, 3-4 years, put his work in, it's took him this long now. That guy's only in 6 weeks, so you need to give him the time. But on the game, you will never have me here. You'll never hear me.
You'll never have me here, hear me, have me. What the fuck?
What's happening today, right?
No,
Take the marbles out your mouth and start again.
actually, if I've got something in my mouth,
Cotton bud.
you will not. Oh my God! No, listen,
Go on.
see, passing it from the back. If it's on, do it, right? If it's on, do it, right? But I watched the Alkmaar and I watched the. There's nothing wrong with just clipping it.
To who so? Who were clipping it to?
Edward,
But that's not his type of... Alanda
hold
just
up.
comes and heads him now.
get your body in front of him.
But is he doing that just now, Edward?
No, but that's what. Why did you play him then?
That was I couldn't honestly be honest, I couldn't believe when the team's queued it and Kyogo wasn't playing up front on Alanda.
But we said it last week, right, about the team would be Kyogo up front. But based on the game via Alkmaar, I could see why he started Edward, because when Edward came on, it made a big difference. I could understand why he started Edward from the Alkmaar game, because he kind of changed it when he came on. But there's no point in playing him if you're not going to use his strengths to play up to him. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes it suits Rangers will be happy for Celtic to try play it out all the time.
I just didn't get why you've got a wee guy that's been brilliant all year, your top goal scorer, and you play him out of position.
But was he thinking?
But why? I don't know. He's your best player.
Aye, but
Why play your best player out of position? I don't get it.
so would you then? Who'd you have played wide? Abada and Christie?
Christie,
And put Rodriguez to keep him in.
Yeah.
Abada for me.
He was an effective one in the first 60 minutes.
Aye.
Yeah,
No
He's lost
position,
it,
is it?
But then Abada wasn't he didn't do anything. I forgot he was even on the park at times. He was very quiet. So I felt like when obviously we talked about Furuhashi being up front, when he got the opportunities that he got, how was it that Celtic weren't able to give Edward the opportunities?
He does not run him behind.
I know, but
He didn't make any movement in the ground. He's just
I know,
standing there at times.
I just feel that, I don't know, sometimes Celtic some players don't turn up in these big games. I think it's a common
You got names
theme.
for this?
I'll throw that out. I think David Turnbull. David Pitbull. I think sometimes.
Imagine him, he's not shaved like Pitbull.
I'm not looking to single any single players out, but I just think sometimes we're great. They're great to take the praise when you're beating Dundee 6-0 and you're beating St Mirren 6-0 and what have you. That's great, but it doesn't matter about the 6-0s. It's when it comes to playing against Rangers, that's where the season's won and lost. And I just think that need a wee bit more out of Christie yesterday, a wee bit more out of Abada, a wee bit more out of David Turnbull. Celtic's best player probably yesterday was up there, maybe Ralston. I thought he was great, especially in the first 15, 20 minutes with the one-on-ones versus Ryan Kent, because it's very easy to stick a foot in there and make a rash decision. But he stood up well, strong, competitive. The new fullback in at left back, obviously he's a right back, but I thought he performed quite well considering his debut. But I don't know what it is. I think I'm saying last week Celtic would win 3-1 basis on how two teams have formed up to now, but deep down as the game was going on, I thought this is a 1-0 Rangers job. They'll get a set piece and that a bit. And sure enough, Barisic ended up putting a right
First half.
bit of quality. And
Celtic were a better team first half, wasn't it?
they won the better team first half, but
I disagree. I
Rangers
think both teams were rubbish.
First half is shit.
I've never seen an Old Firm game with that many unforced errors for
Amount of passes
a lot
it
of for a lot of top players just under no pressure, getting the ball away when they've got time and space, just making poor decisions. I thought the first half was even, but the big thing coming out of the first half was Edward's chance. Edward's chance absolutely massive. Then second half, you had a feeling after the first 5 minutes of the second half that Rangers have been up a level. They're coming out to try and control the game, press the pace a wee bit more. And one thing for me was everyone thought it would be goals. Everyone did. But the end product, if we're talking about unforced errors in possession, the end product, the delivery for both teams, anytime they got in good areas out wide, I don't think you've seen a good cross in the box until Barisic puts in a good corner for the goal in the last.
That's the same for both, because you look at Furuhashi amount of times that he got out in the left, and you're saying ineffective out in the left. He was to a point, but see when he got inside to whip that ball in across the face of the goal, he couldn't beat the first man. So it makes it easy when you've got Hollander and Goldson. It's easy for them to come and defend. It was disappointing. But
Rangers done well with the front. They brought them in narrow, didn't they? And forced the fullbacks to go and play wide. Never really made use of the, because then the midfielders over quick to get. That's what Rangers do.
I said that a couple of weeks ago when I talked about like the way Celtic play with inverted fullbacks. It will be very, very hard to play against for a lot of teams because you overload the crate in there, but it doesn't really affect Rangers that much because they're always compact in there. They've always got numbers in there. The space that Rangers gear up was out wide.
Out wide, yeah.
So you could see. I thought Ralston was good defensively. I thought the new boy, the fullback, I thought looked nervous. I thought he was all right, but I thought he looked nervous in possession. You could see he was uncomfortable being on his right foot on the left-hand side, so he just wanted to come back in. And I thought Callum McGregor in the first half
he was good,
really
McGregor, yeah.
I thought he probably dictated the pace of the game for Celtic, I thought, in the first half, but second half Rangers picking it up and getting a wee bit more higher and a wee bit more after them.
Why did Rangers set off? Rangers set off first half, didn't they? And let them play it the second half of it and put. He does that quite a bit, Gerard, doesn't he?
I know.
I always think they're better when they just go and press to the front.
I don't disagree with you, but I worried about going into the game. I know you can't use it as an excuse. If they lost, they lost. But you can see that travel for Armenia and getting home. I think they got home at like 5 o'clock on Friday morning. So I always worry with stuff like that because I talked about it when I was there and we played with Finn the last qualifying, played at Parkhead 3 days later. Mate, you were like mentally and physically just done in. So I don't know if that was in the staff's minds or whatever. Want to try and go for a high press for the front. I think they maybe blow up in the second half or whatnot. But out with that, I don't think there was much in the game. I don't think either team played well. But I thought Rangers done enough in the second half to deserve the win.
I can't stand the stat that came up with the most touches. It was all Celtic back four.
See, the second half, it looked like last season, mate, just passing it back. You're getting beat 1-0.
I don't know, listen, the game's moved on, right? Obviously, I mean, back in the day, defenders were proper defenders. Like, you wouldn't have seen fucking Big Adams, Tony Adams.
Big Tony Adams.
He would never have popped the ball about, wouldn't you have no?
But he would do that.
I would do that. So his defenders. Him and Big Keown would never have popped the ball about. Right? Never have popped the ball about. But there's no point in me saying that. All right.
Right, sorry.
No, I mean,
Keown.
They've never have popped it about. But maybe the modern day, that's the way they do it. But for me, something can't be right in your team if your defenders have got the most touches. That can't be right. I think
that's a lot of games now. Even when you watch the Premier League and it comes
Leicester
up
had it that
They start to see most touches in the Premier League. It's on Sky Sports, it's always defenders.
That's it.
It's I think Andy, you've played in the game at Parkhead in the Cup with Hearts, and how quick the tempo was that day compared to how slow it was yesterday. It makes a difference.
But is that because Rangers are so good off the ball? For me, that's where Rangers are really, really good is off the ball.
In the first half, I think if Celtic had raised the tempo a wee bit, they would have had an opportunity, because what I felt was when Rangers front three went to Celtic's defence, when Celtic passed the ball out, the Rangers midfield was too far away. So they had an opportunity to be quicker and try and get it through the front. But whereas in the second half, Rangers obviously realised that, and what ended up doing is when the front three went, Davis brought the rest up with them, and Celtic just couldn't go at all.
Yeah.
So you've got to pick your moments as to when the tempo goes there and tempo goes there. You can't play at that tempo the whole 90 minutes, but I don't know what it is with Celtic.
Listen,
bad choice, bad decision making sometimes. Really bad decision making.
The young goalkeeper came in for Rangers.
Done well,
brilliant.
Done very well, but he didn't have a safety
tested
net.
now.
No. 85th minute, I think.
That's not right.
But I also think with Kyogo playing up front, that brings the best out of Christie and Turnbull, because they are the ones that can play. They want to play the passes, but Edouard, all you've really got is a pass into his feet. And I think that's when they end up getting the ball taken off them, and then Rangers go on the attack after.
I think
Kyogo brings so much more out the midfielders.
I think 90% of the Rangers fans as well would have been worried about Balogun at right back.
Yeah, done well, didn't
And I think playing against a Kyogo on the wing, he's not really somebody that's going to face him up all the time. Get at him if it was like a Forrest or an Abada or whatnot, but he was probably the best player on the pitch, to be fair.
Credit to Rangers, obviously, the fact that they're missing a goalkeeper or talisman and their captain.
Yeah.
But like I said, and this is no disrespect to Tavernier, Balogun probably is a better defender, and I thought he was the no the difference.
Because the Tavernier plays, these spaces are probably what Celtic could look to.
Exactly, because Tavernier is trying to get further up the park to support, whereas with Balogun, he knows his limitations and he's there to defend. Gary McAllister said in the interview afterwards that he can play a number of positions across the back four, and we trust him. He brings quality, and that's what he did yesterday. And I think that defensively, when you're as solid as that defensively, it's a massive help to the rest of the team when you're confident your back four being tight, going and winning things. Celtic aren't dominant enough when they go to win things. If you look at some of the times Roof backed into Starfelt, and Starfelt's falling his arse making free kicks, you need to man up, son. This is Scottish football. This is what happens.
Did you play with it, boy McCrory?
I was there with him. Obviously, he
used to get him half volleys, didn't you?
During training.
Me and Walter, I done it at Tenerife.
Is he younger than Ross?
Aye, he's mate. Ross McCrory made his debut in goals before him. It's unbelievable.
Did he?
Aye.
Oh, so he did it.
He came on. Some gigs he got sent off against HIBS for the last 20 minutes. Ross McCrory went in goals.
Did you think it was Robbie in the bench?
I've not played with him. He's been on loan a couple of times. He was always very, very quiet. That's what's it. You know what goal? Like, it's true that goalies are crackpots. They're all mad characters, every one of them. But he was dead quiet, and I thought it was interesting that Gary McAllister said in an interview last week that he's like grown as a man for coming back for a loan spell. He's got pubes now. So he's ready to play.
But McAllister was doing one-on-ones with Balogun all week.
Aye. Spotty, wasn't it?
And is that true? Gary McAllister was getting on. He's like, didn't I tell Jenna, but you all call me Gaffer this week.
Keep staying it.
I love that, mate. But do you know, big team meeting, boys think it's like a video analysis. He's like, no lads, listen, Gaffer for the week.
I gave a Gaffer a bowl of COVID last week, so I'm a Gaffer now.
Do you think, would Gerard have been watching that in the house?
Mate, I was thinking that as well. Do you think there's ever bits that he's sitting on the pan watching it in that?
Imagine that.
Or do you think he's just, where do you think he's set up in an office, living room?
Imagine surely it's what would be an office. Imagine it's just a living room.
Sitting on the couch with
I think so,
projector on.
Do you think his face turned at half time?
100%.
Think so, aye?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Probably, aye.
Have you ever had a game where your manager's not been there?
Aye, my first ever game at Kilmarnock, Jim Jeffries was in hospital.
Did you win?
We drew 1-1 with St Mirren, so.
Do you think it makes a big difference?
Nah, sometimes you're better glad he's not there. You've always got leeway with the assistant, haven't you?
Oh, it's like a supply teacher.
Aye. It's like when Jim sits up in the stand, they come to you and like, we have an alright side.
Would you have a boost if you knew your manager was there?
Buzzing, wouldn't you? But you would. I wonder, do you know the most?
Some boys probably would like it, innit?
Aye, but see if the assistant and coach started acting different, that would annoy me. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like acting like a manager, I would love that.
I'd be brilliant, but it would annoy a player, wouldn't it?
See how McAllister was asking the boys to call him Gerard. Was Michael Beale asking to be called Gary McAllister?
I think so. Shaved his nut, didn't he? Shaved his nut. Mikey Beale shaved his nut. We had DeCanio, when we got beat one game on a Saturday, and a few boys had been moaning about training that week, saying we're doing the fucking same thing every time in training. Like, it was so regimented. On a Thursday you would do this shape-wise, and we were like, any chance of some fucking boxes and possessions like one day of the week or something? So we get beat on the Saturday and he cracks, man. He's like, and you fucking little assholes complaining about my training. He says, next week we do exactly what you want. He says, I won't come to training, I'll stand at the side, I'll run around the training ground, you decide what I want. So assistant manager Fabrizio came to us and we had to write down what we'd done on Monday, Tuesday, we took the Wednesday off, trained Thursday, Friday. So he's like, right, fine, boxes, possession, games. Mate, I think we were just taking the piss to annoy him, like cross in. Somebody just pass it a wide cross, and then he's standing, he's like that. See, when I'm in boxes, he's standing, he's like that. And then he would just go for like laps, and we're all hitting a lap.
Did you win it the weekend?
1-3 at the weekend, came in after the game, he's like that. The worst performance I've seen since I've been with this club. We go back to normal next week. But mate, on freeze it.
I was going to say that there, but see if you were a manager and you were out, do you think you would want your team to get beat? I think
because you're not there.
Because you're not there, do you know what I mean? Because people might be, he'd better have him there.
I know, but then they also look at it and like, this guy's not even there and they're still winning. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose, aye. Depends on the results before, innit? I know he's done it, yeah. But I think it's depending on the results before it. So if you were getting beaten, you were having a nightmare, and then you took a few weeks off, I mean, then they won.
There's not really any change though, is there? Because Gerrard would have still been involved in all the planning and shit and whatnot.
They were saying that McAllister was speaking with a Scouse accent.
Swaggering about.
Come on, lad. Unreal. Have you ever had that manager not being there?
I was trying to think that, Don't think so. It would be weird though, nah. It definitely would be weird. I imagine you had like a mad... Have you ever had an assistant manager, you don't need to name names, it was a mad, like, scuddy, just quiet, like, offered absolutely nothing?
Bob Malcolm.
Set
you up there like that. So
and then he takes it.
Aye, so I'm trying to think if like he took it. Pedro Quixinha's assistant, I can't remember his name, but he was so quiet, man. I couldn't imagine him taking a session, never mind a game.
Maybe so would he not do anything?
He did like wee bits in the warm-up and stuff like that, or if you were doing like one-to-ones at the end. Helder, that was it, Helder. But, mate, I couldn't imagine him taking a game.
Even with the
What was Fabrizio like? Was he...
Good coach Fabrizio, mate, but you never get to say anything, eh? So see if the Canny was like demonstrating something I've told you before where he's the centre forward and he wants what he wants his centre forward to do, he'd make Fabrizio, he'd like elbow in the face. Fabrizio's like that, getting smashed.
That's the worst when you get used as an example, innit? You're getting dragged about.
Number twos were the worst. Like you couldn't trust the number two. You couldn't trust the number two.
I know, I hate making
number two. I had a few number twos that he would be your best friend and he fucking stab you in the back to the gaffer.
They're the best ones.
Like, we had a guy come on, like, man, I won't name names, right? But he would come in after training and just stand there quietly, not say anything, and just listen to the chit chat, and then he'd go back and tell the gaffer everything. We had two of them.
You'd never be that type of assistant, would you?
I don't know.
I wonder if Gary Mack...
Because you get probably paranoid, would you know? Sometimes, depending on your mindset.
Yeah.
What are they saying about me?
Love to see Gary Mack.
After the game, I'd love to see what he said. If he's throwing any comments about...
we're better when he's not here.
It's just wondering. Do you know what I mean?
So then he used to feel that it was much better with him not being there, imagine.
Much better, wasn't it? I think Gary Mack could be like that, by the way.
Brilliant. Right, we spoke about Edward. Is it time for him to go?
Based on yesterday, aye. Because I said it earlier, surely this can't be... I think last season, a lot of people kept saying he doesn't want to be there. And I was one guy all stuck up for that. I said, well, I don't think that's true. But that can't keep being the case. If you're going to play, surely... And I don't know what is his confidence lost? Or because I know we're saying, right, Kyogo and stuff, he makes his runs and stuff, but Edward, before maybe last season, he was unbelievable, mate. There was I can't remember exactly when, but it was a long time where he was the best player in the league. He was frightening.
See, I always remember Dembele playing ahead of me.
No, it was when he went. Remember, it was Chris Sutton. It was a period I can remember. He scored a free kick for Motherwell for Barton. It had been going on for a while.
Yeah.
I remember Chris Sutton saying, and I say it was like Larson, but he said it's like
close. He's the best
since that. So it was at that period. But like now, I just feel like I don't see much out of him at all.
See, even when he's got that 1v1 with Haaland,
Edward of old beats him.
He sticks that away.
I think the problem is that because he is like really, really bad now, you remember him being so good. So the comparison between the two of them now is not just that. He's having a couple of bad games. It's really, really bad. It's went from the extreme to a really extreme. And I think he's got to either somebody come out and say, no, he's staying and the window's going to come and pass and he's still going to be, he's going to need to say, I'm going to get knuckled in and go home. Celtic's going to, I think if he stays, Celtic will lose and want it for nothing.
Aye.
Come January.
Yeah.
So he's then got to stay right. I need to get myself together because come January, if he keeps performing the way things are going, he's not going to get that move that he thinks he's going to be able to achieve. But I don't know what it is. There's something, I think Slaney said it there, there probably is a wee element of his confidence, isn't it, quite where it was?
Yeah.
And that, like,
but would you,
no giving excuses.
See if you're would you sign him based on what you've seen the last year and a half?
That's what I was going to say as well. And what would you,
I don't know
say you're Celtic, what would you sell him for? Knowing he's in his last year of his deal.
I think they're talking 15 million quid just now.
I don't think they get that, mate. I honestly don't. I think 2 years ago you do it more than that. But I just know teams know he's in his last year of his contract and it seems as if he's wanted to leave for about 3 years. So why would you go and pay 15 million quid for something you know you're going to get that in 4 months?
Say for example his confidence is short a wee bit and he does he's trying to get a move for away for 10, 12, whatever million somebody pays for him and he goes to this club and it doesn't work out for him because he's not quite where he is. It's tough. Like I think he's in a a precarious position.
Oh, what a word that is.
Tom Court's hitting the hard on
Oh
the
my
it
God,
TC?
Tom. So that's not calling him TC up
I
there.
just think he is, because you know yourself, we all play football. You just can't turn it on and off like that. It needs to.
I've never turned it on.
No.
It's just constantly been fucking off for me.
for years, isn't it? Horrible that feeling, man.
It's,
You just can't get going at all, think you know?
aye.
No matter what you say or what you do.
try harder.
You end up trying harder, makes it fucking worse.
Forced, innit?
But that's another thing, right? I've seen Crystal Palace linked on. Do you want to go and play for Crystal Palace and get relegated, be in the Championship?
Nah.
But I think Crystal Palace will pay 50 million quid for him.
Yep.
I think to get him now,
I think
maybe
Vieira knows
chance
him,
of
didn't
keeping
he?
him in the
Vieira
Premier
knows him
League.
supposedly
Yeah.
for the French under 20s or whatever.
You're buying a player, hopefully, that can produce the form he had a season or two seasons ago. That's what you're hoping you're buying. And at this minute in time, it's going to be a gamble. The quality's there. The quality will always be there. It's whether it can come back to that. He is still, what age is he? He's only, what, 24?
23.
Aye, so he's still young enough, you know what I mean?
28,
And
still playing for France under 21s.
if somebody has to take him in the English Premiership, there'll be somebody abroad. I think, is there no talk of a,
I had a Russian team wanted him, but again, why would you
Aye,
want money? Maybe,
Ruben
but
Kazan, man.
was it Ruben Kazan? So time will tell, but I think Celtic's got to do what's best for the club at this minute in time, and if that's getting rid of him and getting some money in, then they go for it.
Right, do you still think there'll be a title race?
Yes.
Aye, absolutely.
Aye. I would take them last year anyway.
Yeah. All right. And Celtic got a sign a striker as well, I think.
Aye.
Oh, we'll talk about the ties. The European draw.
Oh, aye.
Oh, aye.
Good draw.
Celtics is a bit of a shocker.
What is it? Betis, Leverkusen.
Betis, Leverkusen and
Somebody's on it, it's the boys.
What was the Rangers one?
Leon,
That's a hard one.
Bromby and...
Bromby's good, by the way. I know they were the fourth pot, but they're a good team.
And the Bromby
Sparta
good.
Prague.
They get put in the
That's
last
decent.
qualifier in the Champions League.
It's
Those
hard, the
European
hard
footballers,
ties.
man.
The hard ties that the both teams have got, but it's European football. You can't expect anything.
Betis.
I think Rangers should be confident with that group. It's Sparta Prague, man. They've... Like, Sparta battered Celtic last year and Slavia beat Rangers in the Europa as well, so...
But
He's
that,
check mob, name mugs, mate.
No.
At the end of the day,
Grosvenor-
they're in the group stage.
Grosvenor
No,
beat
they
them
win
1-0.
it. Uh-huh.
Grosvenor only beat Sparta
Well,
1-0.
I think both of them are just delighted that they avoided Grosvenor, weren't they?
aye.
Anyone but Grosvenor.
They were in pot zero there. They were in their own pot.
They get a bite at the final, don't they?
But aye, who is it? Betis, Leverkusen and who? What's it?
aye, but see, with Betis, I had kind of that our team.
Remember you had to draw him? Remember you had to draw Kev?
Very fast. Oh, they beat Celtic, very
Fair
casual.
and balanced.
Remember you had to, talking about draws, remember you had to draw
What's
Kev
that name?
naked?
Exactly that.
Was that tough? Was that a
It's
tough
because the
draw?
couch is
What was the hard bit?
bending there, the couch. It's a hard one to get them in. See,
Where did you do that? In your living room?
in my living room, aye. My dad was walking by, no. He's been a disgrace, by the way. We fought the last 3 Celtic Rangers games. We scrapped the last twice.
Who won?
This third one we didn't fight. But the last 2 we did fight, sorry, no one to that.
What was you fighting over? What was
game.
it? That,
Different opinion
No,
of
but
the
what
game.
happened in the game that caused it?
Wi-Fi went down.
He's a dinosaur. That's what I can say.
What was he saying? Just kick out the park?
Fuck it up. Do you know what I mean? Wrap that. You do that for a fact a bit. But because and then he was like,
Get
you
fucked in.
Get fucked in.
Peter loved that one, didn't
all
he?
that
Just need to
nonsense.
get fucked in. That's how you win games.
Need one at
When
me.
junior team would be top SPL,
Yeah.
but that was the case, man. Just get fucked in, right?
Yeah, they want it.
Telling you, just get fucked in this weekend, man.
Honestly.
Make sure you don't leave anything out there.
Honestly, see when you're sitting watching games, they put on that's what they shout. You're like,
That's what we
what are
can
you
do.
talking about, man?
We could do with doing a bit on the worst shouts ever for a manager.
That's the worst. Get fucked in.
I
Make
hate-
sure you win your first tackle, your first pass is good. Well, what if it isn't? Is that me fucked?
Just come
I'll
off.
just come off and watch that.
Oh, mate, honestly.
See talking about people like that. I hate talking to certain people about games or my game or my performance or whatever. My uncle's the biggest one. Honestly, he does not have a clue about football. So I can't talk to him about. I just can't talk to him and get a.
What did he say? Like, you should have done this, you should have done that.
Aye, you're like.
Oh, see
And
that.
he'll literally pull out one player and say, "Look, he was really good today," and it'll be the worst player on the pitch. Like it'll be somebody that was brutal.
But
honestly,
that's hilarious. That's when you're at a game and somebody shouts you here. Off. Even by the coaches, I know some of them you shout you hear innit.
What, like?
What was the one that I did? I heard? Just hoof it in the boxes, man.
just get rid of it. Just get rid of
Get
it.
rid of it, aye.
Hoof it away.
Get rid of it.
Right, we've said Hearts. The old Hearts. Hearts.
I called it with my dark
Hearts.
horses. I called
Charged
it
with dark horses, eh?
because of the manager and the assistant. It's 2 guys I would love to play for. They've created a team there that
Great ambience.
great ambience. Tam Court will just be sitting, loving it, wouldn't
Nah,
he? Just
right,
falls to
yeah.
his knees.
What did they just say? What was that one there?
Come to his mouth. Falling right to his knees, didn't he?
Sitting watching that, eh? What the word that is?
There's a bit of
When you get time on,
Just sinking back into his couch, you know.
like that.
I did vanity about it this week.
But what it means is, after the international break, there's an Edinburgh Derby to go top of the table.
Is that Saturday, Andy, or a Sunday?
Must be a Sunday, I think. Yeah.
We need to go.
I think I'm going. I'm
Can
going
you
to
get
have
tickets?
to go. I've phoned Rocky.
You get us tickets?
I'll get a
Your
ticket.
mum says she's been going to other games.
She went to Celtic and Aberdeen.
9 months you were when you started going to Ibrox to watch Rangers, she said. She took you, aye.
You're still on the tip.
Do you remember anything about that first game?
Aye, I do remember. We got stuck right in for the start. We got rid of every table in the box.
But there's no any seats you're marking sitting on me. We'll talk about the first thing that comes up.
They were.
That's a Frank joke, isn't it?
It's a Frank Markin, very special man.
Keep that to yourself.
I think you should go.
We should
We'll be there.
Top the league clash, mate.
That'll be a tiny bit.
Tynecastle will be bouncing, won't
By the way, that'll be a
Sunday club
great
at the
game.
Gorgie.
Ah,
We
perfect.
could Haymarket.
That'll be a great
Us three, Lockie and the Jet,
Aye, get a train
out and
up.
about in Edinburgh.
Aye, that'd be decent.
What's that club he's got? He's wearing a leather hat.
The Blue Oyster. Straight out a cocktail.
Right, let's do it. Let's get it
Oh,
started.
aye, let's go for it.
But are you confident?
You've got to be, ain't you? Got to be. Mate, we've started the season really well. You look at our schedule as well. We've had some tough games, but Hibs are a good team as well. They're brilliant last year.
Bring the damn coat to the couch.
Hibs obviously finished third last year. I think they've improved again. Like Boyle started the season on fire. Nisbet's obviously back in the team scoring goals. So it'll be a tough game, but as long as we turn up, mate, and get stuck right in for the start, we'll be alright.
Will that be obvious team
Get
talk?
stuck in, get rid of it.
For the get-go.
Make sure the first pass for start was good.
But these back though, Kevin, these the derbies.
Of course they are, aye. Especially when the two of them are playing, performing well.
Yeah.
Boyle, Andy, you slotted at that defensive left wing back position. I think you'd be the man to curtail Boyle.
Tail? Tam's trousers right hand.
Fucking Tam was at my house last night, weren't they?
Stop it.
Do you even know what a curtail means?
The jeans are right after me, aren't they?
He's
Right, yeah.
Hey,
Tam's like, you see this? Just fucking hear this. This is good.
that was decent, wasn't it?
You fucking hear it. You know what this is? Stop it.
Bite fucking his lip.
Pure Tam, pure.
Say curtail one more time.
Curtail,
No, just look at the camera and say it.
curtail.
Get a zoom in on that. Oh, man,
but-
it's unreal.
So you think that's the secret to stopping Hibs, Boyle?
I think you stop Boyle. That's one threat stopped. But ultimately, Nisbet, what a goal on Saturday.
What a player.
Ramsey's wee bra.
I looked at that goal and I thought, great turn and finish, but as a defender, I want a wee bit more. I think the defender, I think he could have possibly kept him facing away for goal.
Yeah.
Allowed Nisbet to turn in a wee bit too easy for me, but he's still a great touch to bring it onto his left foot and a good finish. But Hibs are full of confidence and flying, and so's Heart. So it's going to be alright. It's a toying course to see who. But obviously, I fancy Hearts because they would be at home. I think the crowd on Saturday, by all accounts, according to Robbie, they were amazing away up at Tannadice. So if they can be even more jovial and vocal at Tynecastle, then that might just give the edge, and hopefully Andy.
He's had to turn the podcast off at this point. And he's just 5 minutes, mate. Sweating buckets.
Somebody can experience the moment that I had.
a cold rag.
But no, it's great for Scottish football to have a derby, the Edinburgh Derby back, and I think that Hearts for me.
Salt and sauce, eh?
Salt and sauce.
You into that now?
Oh, fuck that. I'm actually not a big Chippy fan, mate.
No, Chippy's a Wednesday night dinner. We were talking about it on the bus Saturday to one of the boys. What are you getting for your dinner tonight, Saturday night? Oh, I'll get a Chippy and mate.
Pizza crunch is
It's a Wednesday night
Pizza
dinner.
crunch is the best, isn't it?
Would you have that Saturday night? Would you have that on a Saturday night?
I've not got a date. I've not got a day for it.
Never.
I've not a day for it. I think you just get it when you feel like it, innit?
Chinese, Indian Saturday night pizza, nah.
Aye, Chinese.
I always feel terrible after a Chippy though.
That's the way you out.
What do you get at the Chippy?
Post Chippy feel
Fish supper,
brutal.
mate.
Fish supper, what
I
we
got a sausage supper and a
You?
pizza crunch.
Fish supper
I'm
with
a
sausage.
king rib supper.
Oh, they're not bad,
Oh,
aye.
I can tell you're a king rib supper, man.
King rib, hunters of salt and vinegar, grease dripping out it. Love it.
King rib supper.
What'd you say the Jet like scam?
You like to have battered sausage?
I was teasing.
Do you know what I am? See people go, Scottish people eat deep fried Mars, but no, they don't.
Nah.
Whoever orders that?
Have you ever had one?
No.
I've tried one.
Nice.
Are they good?
I liked him.
Are they? Have you tried it, aye?
You can't eat the full thing, but a couple of bites is.
I've never ever heard them that's at them.
Chinese Saturday night, Indian Sunday night.
Oh, do you do 2 nights?
If sometimes I just
You would never know.
No.
Can they big me looking good?
No.
But see, did you just get Domino's after the game for the club?
Used to.
Brilliant.
Well, my previous son, we used to get, we had actually a chef on the bus.
All right.
So.
Nothing
that's
worse,
what
but when you get a
happens.
wee, it's just a big fucking bowl of soup, innit? And everybody's just having a big scooper after some of the games. Remember that? Some places you go, after the game, you just leave soup and sandwiches
Who
for
are you
you.
playing with? Fucking Bellini?
Berlin.
FC, mate. Big ball of shit after the game.
Have you never had
Everyone's in
that?
at the same bowl.
Who was it? I think it was, mate, I'm not just saying it, I think it was Stranraer.
Is it?
It would be.
I'm sure it was, but I think that's alright. You're still getting away team something, you don't need to
Yeah,
mention.
soup and sandwich.
Soup and
Would
sandwich,
you
but it's just
get
something
a-
just to be able to say about it, you know what I mean?
You use over away quite a lot. Would you use get after an away game?
Oh, see, with COVID and that now, mate, you don't know, you just
Aye, nothing.
get...
Just get home.
By the way,
down the road.
how's your feet?
Oh, the boots.
You telling the story?
Tell
That's
it if you
accurate.
want.
I tell it, bro.
Mate,
the feet
I've got about 8 plasters on my feet.
Compeed?
Get the feet out.
Aye, so turned up, game at the weekend. Game at the weekend, I'm getting
I
that.
know.
You showing these, huh?
Aye, I should
No, go.
should
No, show them. Show
Bogging,
them.
no.
No, it's good.
But I've got plasters on, so you can't see.
It's good to see, let people see what you go through in order to get 3 points. This is for you getting fucked in, innit?
Oh, shit.
Oh!
Plasters off.
Oh, mate.
Oh, what? That's it.
Nice and dry now though.
Fuck's sake, place.
They're actually not
yeah.
bad. I've seen a lot of mines are terrible.
I wouldn't
great,
even
is it?
get my plates and eat it. I've got the
like,
biggest
that
bunion
sting in
you've
the
ever
shower?
seen in your life.
Mate, honest to God, it was agony. It was
Through
agony.
the game?
Aye. For that's like, for the second half at night, mate, I was actually going to wear flip-flops today, but I thought, can't do that, it's brutal. Aye, so I'm getting her up before the game. Usual sports scientist or the fitness coach gives you a shout, right, 5 minutes, lads. So we've got a 2 minute shout. So I go to my bag to put my boots on. I pull out my boot. And I say boot because there was only one in my bag.
Mate.
That's the worst.
Mate, my stomach, man, hit
Oh,
the
your
deck.
heart sinks,
Oh, my stomach
Did you
hit
then
the
tell
deck.
the
I felt
gaffer?
sick. Everyone's like looking at me like, why you not get your boots on? I've ended up like whispering to one of the boys, mate, I've got no boots.
Oh, mate.
But literally 2 minutes ago to the warm-up, so I pulled the kit and I was like, Gogs, I've only got one boot. Like my boot must have fell out in the bus, going to go and check for me. So he goes on. I'm waiting, all the boys have started, they've went out for their warm-up, I'm still in the changing room. He comes back in, he's like, nah, your boot's not on the bus.
Oh, no.
So now the wee young boy Finlay Pollock, I'm an 8.5, he's an 8. So I was like, has anybody got a spare 8.5? So he's like, I've got an 8 pair of studs. Never worn them before, vapors.
Studs as well,
I've got pure
mate.
wide feet vapors, the thinnest boots in the world. Half size down. So I was like, I just need to wear them. So wore his size 8 studs and
So you
That's
see,
a pretty
because you
well,
want
mate,
to
that's
play, I know,
what-
but see, that's what I'm going to ask you.
I'll
Are
take
you
his
going
boots,
to
mate.
then wear
I'll
them again
take
next
them,
week?
aye.
You need to.
100%.
Aye, superstitious.
But we found your boot in it in the end of Robbie's saxophone. They're a friend. Mate, I told you David Clarkson scored 8 goals in a row for Dundee, right? 8 in a row. I think it was a record. He beat like Van Nistelrooy or something. And on his 9th game, mate, he changed the boots that he'd been wearing for the first 8 games. Never scored again in his career.
he broke Van Nistelrooy's record at Dundee for consecutive goals.
Like a British record
Aye,
of how many goals in a
consecutive
game.
Aye.
And
Or he drew with somebody, I don't know who it was, I can't remember who it was, and then he changed his boots on the 9th
why
game.
would you do that?
I don't know. He got sent, maybe a company sent him a pair of boots because he'd done
To
so
break
well.
your record?
Break the record, and he wore them and never scored again in his whole career. Still can't score at the
Still
back.
can't score now.
Never even looked at the goal
Did
after
they see after did they put the boots back on, no?
I don't know what the sick bastard done after that. I just stopped talking to him after he done that. What we're going on to next?
He's definitely been paid for that though, hasn't he? Had to have.
What, a few quid for the boots?
Had to have.
Ben Woodburn. What a signing.
It's an unbelievable signing. I don't want it, but I'm surprised. I thought he was the next big thing. And
He did it at Liverpool, He came on for the first team at like 16 or something and scored, didn't he?
Scored, aye.
So you've now got Woodburn and Arspun that...
Aye, it's good signing. Same, but he's like 20... What is it, 22 or 23? Mate, it seems like he's been about for years, doesn't it?
Do you know what? I hate that comment I just said. Next big thing.
You've had that. We got that in a cafe in Paisley, mate.
You had to deal with that for years.
What happened to you two? You know too many of the next best things.
But it's so hard. It's so hard. Like people, it knows if the boy was walking about going, "I'm the next big king." He's just playing, and people maybe say things.
Somebody just gave him that label.
Just like, and things can happen, whatever. And for me to commit with that's a disgrace. So I hope the boy does really well.
Was he good?
Do you know what I think? Yeah, he actually did play really well.
Did he start?
He hadn't trained for ages, so I think
Bit
he
rusty.
was fucked after like 60 minutes. Mate, you need to sign for Peter Heath. I'm just thinking in my head here, like,
Crying
mate,
out for
they just need that. Just
need that spark player.
Somebody Hamish can bounce it with, mate, and get involved with. Just that one spark that's going to take them to the next level.
We need a maverick, don't we?
Aye.
Because you're looking great, and I think your presence would be felt all over the Football League.
I think the shirt sales are not.
Think you're getting that soup in that after the game again? Big bowl of soup.
Oh,
just put a bit of product in the hair.
minestrone in it.
Minestrone,
You're flying.
I was depressed, but when I played that level.
No, but you've got Ivy.
I'll get the best of you.
Aye.
Can I just say as well, he's wore that Lacoste hoodie, right, thinking it's brilliant, and then he's bounced in with the Balenciaga and absolutely fucking trounced him into.
Heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken. Wore it in the Cooper jokes in the Frank Derrick.
Nice wee matching green watch here to go with the crocodile.
Lacoste.
How much was that, bro?
Saint Lacoste.
Sent
You've
it.
got to get a deal with Lacoste.
Fell out of conflicts, what was that?
You're just head to toe in fucking...
Lacoste.
Much
That's shite though.
much of that money you got left of that gone?
Oh, gone. Fucked it, mate. Honestly, bought a guitar for 600, took it back, and the guys gave us a receipt, so I can't get my money back. Got a £600 guitar receipt.
Oh, what, you've got like a in-store credit?
Voucher.
Saxophone?
Signed the...
Does Robbie buy that up here? He'll give you £1,000 for a 600 quid voucher.
No, money's all gone.
What else? Your scooter?
Scooter.
Kev, you seen him today, didn't you?
Mate, I saw him today. I've got a wee video for him scooting along. Aye.
Why have you got a few quid and then bought a scooter?
Over there.
It's been in the back of my motor for fucking 3 days as well.
What's the top speed, Paul?
40,
15?
45.
What, mile an hour?
We go to 45, didn't we?
45,
That's class, to be
down
fair.
the back, 45 mil.
One
you're
thing
down.
he's on it back, aye. But he'd sit in the boat, mate.
That is class, to be fair.
That's cool, but I fucked it. I blew it off.
How much is rent now, the flat?
2G.
It's up to 2G.
2G.
Because you got the balcony put in.
Balcony per minute. So that's hard, isn't it? Hard living.
You got billiards stay with it,
A billiards table.
Struggling with money.
Where does Woodburn play up front?
Right
Up front, aye. He's a big word. Okay.
Is he ever alienated up there? Or
Alienated.
do you
thought
get
isolated.
Isolated. No, alienated is wrong.
Isolated.
Alienated.
No, alienated. What's
right.
that?
You don't want to be
Alienated
alienated. Yeah, good word. No up to
I've
Tam
not got
standard.
the big ones.
No. Tam,
What else can we think of?
Mate, there's some amazing words up there. Tam's going to commit with
see,
some words next week.
see,
He'll listen to this and he'll be jealous.
The way fans went up there, was it a rapturous applause at the
It
end?
was, honestly, it was thunderous.
Nah, that wasn't as
I'm
good.
sure you
Thunderous
I
Tam.
can't do these big
They
words.
words wouldn't have come out of Tam.
We're running with this TC joke forever now, aren't we?
It's the best I've heard in a long time, that, with TC. He will be devastated.
We need to get him on, don't we? And put us to shame. Sitting in the middle and just gain us proper.
He's maybe really good, isn't he, man?
Yeah.
Actually, no, he is actually maybe really good. We were like, fucking, if he laughed at me. Just
Well, Andy just said his United team was really good, so there you go.
Good.
Right, Aberdeen have signed Gordon Stratton and Alex McLeish, Matty Longstaff and David Bates.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it Matty Longstaff? Was it the ginger one or the...
Oh, it's a ginger one.
He was on the verge of signing
It's a ginger one.
He was on the verge of signing a 35 grand a week contract. There was talks of him going to...
Is that not his brother though? I think his brother's very good, isn't he? Scott Longstaff.
Is it?
There's two of them there, aye.
I don't know.
But mate,
Two
honestly, they
brothers
need to
of
get
Matt.
Bates and Longstaff together and then an old picture of McLeish and Stratton. It is.
It's like a
It's
young
exactly-
Davy
it's like
Moyes. Celtic picture of
They need to
Davy
sign some like
Moyes.
dingus, didn't they?
Moyes is flying though, isn't he?
Moisey is fine.
Yeah, I done him.
That house, he's getting an extension on that house, I'm telling you.
A couple of years ago he said...
That's two good signings for them, by the way.
That is great signings.
Should say.
But the only thing is with Gallagher and Bates could be the slow centre-half partnership in that league, couldn't it? two good defenders, but they're quite slow. I'm sure is Bates slow?
No, Bates isn't slow, mate. Rapid.
Shermanator's quick, innit?
Shermanator's
He was brilliant in American Python.
He's no slow.
You were so worried about Aberdeen last season as well. You were saying that they're going to struggle. And look, there's some right good signings there.
Drew Ross County.
He's not won a game since
No, I know,
that
but
team.
what I'm saying is they're not
What a decision.
Huh?
What a decision for the manager to rest and be ref. No won a game since. Nightmare.
Right, go gaze at someone.
Right after Tom Seed.
Horrendous. So, Longstaff straight in? Does that mean Ferguson's away?
Wait, just
I think so, Si. That's what I think.
Reading into it?
He's bumping his gums into.
Bumping his gums.
Bumping
Here,
his
Charlie Adams saying that. He's the Albie on that show, bumping his gums, saying his boy should be getting more money.
Hey-ho.
Is that what he said? Hey-ho. Alright. Charlie's got his opinion. Hey-ho.
Where'd they say that?
I seen it on the internet somewhere.
Charlie's some manner.
But no, I think that's what I thought was my first instincts, that he'll be away.
Do you think if he does go, Derek will continue to wear that snide Under Armour gear, or do you think
he'll leave us, Derek?
if Lewis goes, he might?
Wow.
Somebody sent me a video
Imagine Lewis
for TikTok, and it was like a wee mad ravey guy doing like a rap thing, and I swear to God, I thought it was Derek Ferguson.
You got that?
Same Under Armour tracksuit. I'll show you after.
Dappy, innit? He's modern himself.
No,
Dappy.
I think Lewis is going to get his
regrets. No regrets.
I'll say sat down.
Lewis is going to get his move, and then Derek's going to start turning up in Gucci trackies, isn't he?
I love that.
Skin tight Gucci trackies.
I think Derek could be honest, one of the best
Flip-flops,
guys ever
Gucci
walked,
sliders.
isn't he?
Oh, Derek's a man.
I think he's the best guy ever.
He is.
Yes.
And
He's
I'll
always
have
on
two
hand.
of them. Around.
You should try to tell that story a wee bit.
Mr. McCoist.
Yes, Mr. McCoist.
What a guy. Tell you what, the biggest lightweight I've ever met in my life.
Oh, mate,
two beers and he's wrecked
two
it.
pints, he's a goner.
What a guy,
Oh,
man.
man.
If Lewis does go, we'll need to celebrate, take him out.
Aye. Take Derek out. Aye, well, that
Yeah,
will
do it.
What we've got to do for that? We've got to do for the rest of the day.
Lee Griffiths, linked to Dundee.
Spoke to him the last day.
What do you mean?
Bumped into him.
Whereabouts? Be exclusive.
In Bothwell.
Oh, what are you doing in Bothwell?
big boy?
Doing a bit of DPD up Bothwell.
Oh, are you right? Is that your new route? Mate, you get the great routes, didn't you, West End, Bothwell?
See that Earls Gate up in Bothwell? Jesus Christ.
Nice.
So chap the door.
He's an exclusive
Came up
kid.
Lee Griffiths, big package of bee-inspired clothing. Opened the door. His missus answered it. Then he came through. And then I just said to him, how's things? And the exclusive, unfortunately.
Oh.
I said to him, I did say to him, Aberdeen. He said, no, I don't want me. HIBS. He said, no. A couple of offers abroad, but I think he wants to play in Scotland, so we'll see what happens.
Him and Jazz are good pals.
I think Dundee would be a good move for him.
Best
I think
one.
he just needs to get playing football. I think that does wonders for the mind and everyone else, and people can say what they want. The guy's had a decent enough football career, had his ups and downs, but hey, we don't wish any hard luck on anybody. Just get there, get playing and enjoy yourself.
If he goes to Dundee, so Dundee stay up, eh?
I would agree with that, because when you've got somebody that can score goals like him, Simon, from all over the park, Charlie picking passes, Griff scoring, why not?
Match made in heaven.
That would be, could be the signing of the summer, that, by the way. Isn't it? And if Jazz is his mate as well, then that can help massively. It's somebody that loves
Don't
him.
get the best of him.
I get the best of him. So
Yeah,
that
I'm
could
with
be, but then, listen, we keep all saying about the different managers, it's up to him to do it. Do you know what I mean? He's
Good point,
He's
Paul.
a man,
Very
so
good.
it's up to him to do
Poor
it.
result for him at the weekend. Look, Tony Watt's flying, isn't he?
It's
Giannis.
supposed to be on the race
you
with you.
started, since you moved in with me in that gaming room.
Mate, absolutely flying.
I know. He was a decent header. Decent header for the goal.
Good player, Tony, isn't he?
Of course, as we said that on the podcast when he was doing the show, said that if he could get his season going, like, there's no reason why he couldn't score 10, 15 goals in SPL, no problem.
Yeah.
I think he's got 4 already. I think it's 3 or 4 already.
Is he on the radio this week?
Don't think so.
Is he flinging big words every now and again, Tony?
I think it's going to
With big
But in
words,
the wrong.
big words like and now.
He can't say the big
I
words.
could just
'cause
imagine him on the you sitting on the radio and he's just like that, looking at you. That like SWG3, mate, he never took his eyes off you, man. Brilliant. St Johnstone, are they going to keep hold their keepers? Jamie McCart's has a bids from Hibs.
Oh.
St Johnstone have rejected it. Will they keep hold of him? Will they go?
Depends if the player forces the move.
Do you think he's a type that will?
I've not heard anything from...
It's tough, innit? Like, you've done really well, you love St Johnstone, but when your Hibs are
What else can
a
you
club,
do?
innit, I know.
The thing is with St Johnstone, right, as successful as they were last year, how do they better that? How does their players better that? It's very difficult to go on and do better things. So to go on and maybe it's just try something else at a different club. Even if he goes to Hibs, he's not going to better what he did at St Johnstone. He might get to a final, whatever. He might give himself up, but I think it's a difficult one. I think Jamie McCart's got to look at it in the best interest of where his career's going.
So what would you do? What would you do then? Put it in your...
Oh, I would force the move to Hibs. Bigger club. For me, Hibs have got Jack Ross, great manager. I think if he continues well, Jack Ross, for me, gets another move somewhere else.
Maybe takes you again.
That's the way I see it. Because I think you're naive if you don't think that in football. I think you've got to look at the prospects of what could be rather than the what ifs. It's the, right, wait a minute, let's go to Hibs. Hibs is a bigger club than St Johnstone. Yes, St Johnstone won 2 cups, but Hibs are a far bigger club. Got the derbies against Hearts. Say Jack Ross does get a move back down south, Jamie McCart, let's go. You just don't know how...
But you could say the same about Callum Davidson's not get a move.
Of course you could, aye. Good point.
What are you doing then, Paul Steiner, gone, if you're Jamie?
If I was him, I'd be disappointed from my agent that I've not got more than just Hibs.
Mm-hmm. Right, what, down south?
If you just won 2 cups and you played every game, more or less, he's at a good age.
Plays every game, never
plays every
injured.
game. I'm surprised that he's not... I mean, some of the players that get moves, I don't know, maybe he's just to phone his agency, but he's doing for himself.
The other thing in Scottish football, Simon, we all know this as well, is the finance. St Johnstone wouldn't pay fortunes. You're not going to play St Johnstone 15 years and then retire and sit back in your arse. Yeah. So you've got to look at that as a perspective of how can I maybe better my family's life? Can I go out there and play and get more money? At Hibs, he would go there and probably double his wages, maybe even more.
You think double your wages at Hibs, yeah?
Definitely. Possibly. Maybe no double it. Maybe, I don't know. It depends what he's on at St Johnstone, but I would like to think that if Hibs were desperate for Jamie McCart, then you've got to...
But then do you look at it as well, Kevin, you look at Hibs 2 centre-backs, does he go and play every week?
I think...
With Hanlon and Porty?
That's what I was just thinking.
I think, well, Porty's possibly not, but I think there's an opportunity there with Hanlon, but you've still got to go there and oust one of them 2 out, which is difficult, but that depends on how eager and how hungry you are and how well you're prepared to perform to get into that team. I just think it's... actually, it's not an example, it is an example. Playing with Kilmarnock, I saw Hearts as a bit an opportunity, a gateway to possibly performing well at Hearts, might get a move to the Old Firm. That's how I looked at it back at the age of 29. Jamie McCart might look at it that way, play well for Hibs, maybe get a move. You don't know. People have different mindsets, different opinions, but mine is, that's how I see it.
Do you think maybe Celtic Rangers should be looking at guys like that rather than spending 5 million on guys like Starfelt?
But again, you need to look, he plays in a back 3, didn't he? Celtic and Rangers playing a back 4. So how do you know he's going to be as effective in a back 4 as he is in a back 3? But Hibs do play a back 3 quite a lot, don't they?
They changed it, didn't they?
Yeah.
On you go, Andy.
Starfelt is small, isn't he, for a centre half?
Start spreading the news. 5'3", and he said, mate, he's Kevin.
It must be about 6 foot. I don't think
he's
anything like 6 foot.
Do you gamble on Hearts, Celtic?
What should you got on for?
8 foot centre half.
Score.
For that height? Nowadays market good and it's me.
That's what I was actually talking about at the weekend. Like Celtic and Rangers physically, think of the back in the day when they had big Hearts and Sutton, and then Rangers had like Amaruso and big guys like Craig Moore and stuff. They don't have any big, massive, dominating centre halves anymore.
That Martin O'Neill team, man, that was a joke.
I was like, 11 Vincers, mate.
Did you ever
mate, see when you trained them, you felt like a wee guy, man.
Aye.
What the fuck?
The back four was 4 centre halves. The midfield were giants. 2 strikers were giants.
But even Lenny, mate. See when you see, you know yourself. See when you see Lenny up close, mate. He's like that, man.
Who's it? Valharan,
Baldy. And Gart was like that. Petter, Lambert, Lennon, Petrov, Sutton,
McNamara.
McNamara,
5'3".
But McNamara was a dirty bastard.
See, did you ever play bounce games, young v old?
Yeah, all the time.
Or Fridays, every Friday? What were they playing?
Batter us, man.
They battered you?
Mate, they were unbelievable.
I know.
Who was the Buddha playing for?
The Buddha. Mate, see, even like the Buddha and Sutton, like, they were dirty bastards, man.
Aye.
They would do you. They would like proper do you in training and that, eh?
Wonder what they think when they watch Celtic defenders.
And I see when Sutton saying like about Edward being the closest to Larson since, like Sutton was miles better than Edward for me.
You could play now, big Sutton, couldn't you?
Sutton was brilliant, mate.
Could you imagine Sutton, Hearts and guys that even remember the Rangers striker was at Amato that was quite a big fucking centre forward. Imagine them up against somebody like Starfelt.
Yeah.
You just fucking throw him about like a wet tacky. That's how I see it. And I think once you've got that mindset over somebody, even guys like Kamar Roof on Saturday, backing in.
But Celtic were signing these boys to the English Premier League, had a lot more money, didn't they?
Aye.
At the time. So it's hard to get. I mean, I think top players have all got that physical stature, don't they? But Celtic and Rangers can't get that type of player.
Sometimes you just want somebody that can be physically commanding.
I know I think seeing 5 million for stuff, but 5 million in the today's market is really not. Still, it's always got to be a gamble.
You pay peanuts.
But it's still a big FIFA
Scotland.
Rangers Celtic though, isn't it?
What on Ian McCarthy? You've played against, you like him?
Aye.
What's his strength? Is he aggressive?
But he's actually, I think he's good on the ball.
Oh, he is,
which,
Great ping.
Height-wise, compared to Big Rooney, what kind of similar?
I had probably what, 6'1", 6'2"?
I think Rooney's a bit bigger.
they're big boys, are Ross and Johnson, aren't they?
Yeah.
Murray Davidson's about 6'4".
Murray Davidson's one of them, mate. He just stands on your toe.
Rash.
Oh, mate, he's all over you, man. It's like, can't breathe.
Ruins your weekend, that.
It does. See when you're standing on and you see it's bunch, you're like,
Just throw a sickie in it, Friday night. Oh, fuck, when I was that shite.
But sometimes I always think, like, if you watch St Johnson over the last few years, maybe not so much since Callum Davidson comes out, and you see their style of play is no great, they're a bit more direct. Sometimes it takes away from, they've got a couple of players that are actually really good football players. Because Alan McCann, everyone talks about Alan McCann's energy, he's pressing that. He's still a comfortable football player.
Baby, he could be away.
You think?
Where
does he go to? That's what
It's a great question, but I think
I'm surprised that there's no any interest. There probably is interest somewhere. There's probably interest somewhere, but it's no known. And I think, I'm surprised he's been there.
I'm surprised. I mean, a lot of the boys after what they've done last season. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm back to their agents. I don't know what they're doing.
No,
I don't, because if I was their agent, you're phoning everybody up saying, look what they've just done. Yeah. You need to send clips and just show them the medals and the trophy. That's it. So. But
again, as I say, not many teams play 3-5-2, mate. So do managers look at who didn't play that way?
I think good players can fit in any system.
I'm going to say that. I know you're saying about playing a 3 McCart. Fuck, at some point in his life, he's played a 4-4-2 side.
Yeah, but he wasn't successful. He was playing in a 3-5-2.
I know, but defenders know how to play, whether it's a 3-5 or if you can't adapt to that in the modern game and professional, there's something seriously wrong with you.
There's no disrespect to St John to me saying doubt him, but
it's like Sean Rooney, right? So if a team doesn't play a 3-5-2, where do you play Sean Rooney in a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3?
He's not fullback. He's not a winger. He would have to go right back. That would be.
But he's not as effective, eh?
No, because he scored 2 goals in the cup final. You're not scoring that if you're a right back.
Mate, did you see his reaction to getting sent off in the European game? Mate, he said wow right about 40 times, and then it shows you the replay, and it's the most blatant sent off I've ever seen.
I love that.
Looks like Stan for the video, doesn't he?
Wow.
What a guy. Wotherspoon. That's not like him, is it?
Who?
I thought Wotherspoon was like a quiet wee guy, and then he just take that. Richard
Foster seen it coming, didn't he? To be fair,
what was it he said? So he said, he'll bring a calmness that is needed, he'll get touches on the ball and calm it down when you pay 10 seconds later. He fucked somebody and got a centre. Have you ever done that? Said something straight away, you thought, oh, see the radio, mate, see when you're doing the radio. See when something comes out your mouth in the rest of the show, you're like that. Why did I say that?
See, to be fair, see when you were on the radio, mate, I genuinely felt every single an hour before you were going on, breaking news happened. Remember that?
Mate, the papers, man, everything I said, the paper that right after, you're driving him like that.
even now, when we do say something that we used to be slaney, remember I used to get the odd
Celtic kid called me a stunt double.
But that's the thing, it's like I've said one already the day when I said to Andy, you can agree or disagree, and I think, what the fuck did I say that for? Did I give a fuck? Can you give a shit?
No, mistakes happen, doesn't it?
That's it. Who cares?
No, but the worst one I said took would be rubbish at Chelsea. And look at me. See,
but I don't think you get as much heat for that because it's not English Scottish football.
But that is a.
I remember you saying something last year as well, and you must have phoned me about 6 times the other week, still thinking about it. Like you kept saying, mate, what did I say that? What
was it? Can you remember?
I remember that actually. I remember you're like, mate, calm down, you'll be fine.
Mind that time I said we were talking about Morelos in the early days, the podcast a few years ago, and I said, what are they looking to get for him? And somebody says, 10 million quid. And I went, he's fucking no worth 10 million quid, Morelos. Man alive, man. I was fucking trending I was trending on Twitter for 2 nights solid. And I was like, what the fuck have I said here? It was because, and see to this day, right, I still think nobody's bought him for more than 10 million. I'm still in my chance.
The worst is when you get a message from it going like, what have you said?
For your mates, like, what are you saying? What's that you're saying on the podcast?
Or somebody
thinking it in everyone's fucking.
Somebody tags you in a post, you're like, why the fuck are you tagging me in that for? I don't give a shit.
Man, you're just running wild, aren't you?
What about you on the radio? Have you ever said anything you thought, no.
I got
You need to watch, especially, didn't you?
Aye, but I got slaughtered like.
You done the Rangers. I remember you done the Rangers Celtic team.
Oh, I got slaughtered for that, mate.
Combined.
That was on his Go Radio.
So it was
Combined.
Combined Rangers Celtic 11. I had like I think I had 9 Rangers players and people were cracking up.
He set you up with that.
I told him to do that.
When you said James Forrest and people actually thought he was serious,
Serious,
saying, fucking hell, man, how can he possibly pick James Forrest? He's played 3 games. I think you're being serious.
Radio's the worst, mate. Honestly, have you ever heard on the radio where somebody asks you a question, you're like, I've not got a fucking clue how to answer this, and you end up just talking the biggest load of shit ever, man. I done Celtic TV when I was a wee guy, and I used to do the Daily Huddle live, and I remember I think I'd scored 2 goals for the youth team at the weekends. So you're going to do Celtic the Huddle this week. You'll be on for an hour. You need to talk, mate. 16-year-old, and the guy asked me the first question. I looked at him like that. I don't know what to say.
But I like that, mate.
Just sat.
Look how far you've come on now. Can they shut you up?
Have you ever heard that too? When somebody asks you a question, you've not got a clue what to say now?
Aye, 100%. Mate, see to be on the radio though, like you need to know a lot of stuff about different things as well. Because see like anything could come up about like
finances.
So see with Rangers last week with COVID, and then a caller's coming in, they're asking like, how does close contact work and how does this work?
And you don't know.
I'm like,
you can't just
know. Do you know what I mean? I just do a test twice a week. So you need to know stuff.
There's not much of a delay on the radio, is it?
No, mate, I think it's like 10 seconds.
10 seconds, aye.
Boy swore on the radio last week, did you?
Nah. What, a caller?
Caller swore on the radio last week, aye. I don't know if it got like zigged out in time, but it was funny, man.
What was the word?
Because the guy was just like casual sentence. Say, for example, he's talking about fucking Morelos. He said, Morelos, he's been fucking brilliant. And like just casual sentence. But he's like, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Right off.
What's the worst one you've said, as in like, you've said it and it has just went months and months and you're like, that was the worst shout ever. Have you ever said it?
I've done a few on the radio. I can't remember now off the top of my head, but there was a couple that I just wouldn't go.
Do you think your St Johnstone man
Second
could
day. What's it, Johnson?
Finish third this season? Do you think that could be the end of the season? You're like,
Yeah, I still think no. If they keep that squad together and they're knocked out of Europe.
It's only 4 games in.
I know.
I think it's different when you're younger. When you're younger and you're coming through the ranks and then you eventually get into that first team and then the press come and speak to you and you're very naive. Because I remember playing for, was it Sunderland? I come away with Scotland trips and I like, so how you think you're getting on at Sunderland? And I says, I'm doing better now because Niall Quinn's going to retire soon and I'm going to get a chance of playing a week. Niall Quinn hadn't even fucking announced that he was retiring. And I'm like, what am I talking here? It's just... Anyway.
Bet he spanked your ass for that one.
Aye, he's getting a right good slap.
Oh, was that the interview done when Peter Reid slips?
Peter Reid slips, I will tell that story in the hydro.
Mate, that is a thing too when you're young, you do just say anything. Remember you seen me coming into Lenny's office after I'd said something during Twitter, I must have, was that Whitey? That's the closest, I've never got it in football, but that day in that office, I think I was close to getting it. I've just been abused.
I just walked behind, what's going on here?
One of the first team managers phoned you.
I was doing Swindon, I was like, somebody says, ask you when you're doing there, you're obviously doing really well, and do you want to go back to Celtic? You're like, I'm not fucking going back there to sit on the bench and not take part, I'm 100% leaving the summer. He's like, you didn't fucking decide when you leave here. I decided, mate, absolutely. I thought I was going back to get a well done, you done brilliant down there. First day in his office, mate, tore us to bits, man.
I've never seen somebody
quiver
like that coming out.
I think my arsehole's still sitting in his office at my next time, fully fell out. I remember bumping into you on the stage. I think you were in next to see me, you know?
I was at next, I must have come out the exact same as well. I don't know what I'd done, but that was scary, man. Oh.
What about any interview? Playing that you said something and the manager's pulled you for?
No. I said that it may have been an open goal at the start of the year that debating whether Morelos is going to leave, what you've fucking debated about for the last 6-7 windows. And I was like, it feels like as if he could because he's still no back for Colombia, and I think I said something like he's late or he's not up, mate. People went mental for that, like cracking up. He's not supposed to be back yet because I said Barisic and Hollander obviously finished the Euros at the same time as mate Morelos finished like 3 days after or something, and everyone's hit me with these facts saying that like he's no back for he's not supposed to be back for another week, but people were actually going mental over it, and I was like, why do you care? I'm not saying, like, I'm not bad mouthing the boy, I'm just saying it feels that. Because see if you've got a European tie, right, and fair enough if you've got qualifiers in Europe and whatnot, I think your time off should be stripped. You should have a week left time off if you get a massive European game. Or who was it was the same as Celtic?
Boyd?
Was it Stafford? Stafford. He was in the door like 2 days and played.
Aye, straight away. Him in for that.
Straight away.
Tiano used to read every press that he'd done. See, for the weekend, mate, he'd pull you in his office and that, why'd you say that, why'd you say that?
But it's worse when they ask you questions though and you answer it and then they put their questions as if you've said it.
Said it, horrible, mate.
See the Amsterdam story, I won't say it much, but the Amsterdam, so I'd done the interview. Generally that day I ran home buzzing.
Thinking, that'll be good.
Oh my God, this is going to change everything. And then when it came out, I was like, what the f...
Done you in.
Ruined everything.
It's amazing how they do that, eh?
What part do you think would come across? Well, the doggy style, but... Oh, brilliant, right, last year bit, lads, Ronaldo's back.
Brilliant.
Buzzing.
Good to see him back, Kevin.
Brilliant. Amazing.
If you watched the Gary Neville Roy Keane,
Best thing I've ever...
It's good, isn't it?
Best thing I've ever seen.
unbelievable it is. It's
Get Instagram will get you a job.
I think we should.
Fucking pro license, I've just got Instagram.
My years of experience, I should just got Instagram.
Mate, see a bit, he was like, the manager, club manager phoned him, was like, where's that player? For international, he was like, couldn't care if he get kidnapped.
Could take the goat back.
Who, mate?
The goat.
Got Ronaldo?
Aye. No, the Jet.
The Jet.
See back in the Premier League?
I just think
Back at Bradford.
he fucking obviously, if he'd watched the game yesterday, he wanted to undo the contract, I think.
Aye,
Will he?
Where's he going to put up front?
He's going to have to.
Aye, I'll put up front.
Will he be successful? I don't think it really matters. I think the whole fairy tale of the story, I think that's the talking point. 36 years old, can he still do it in the Premiership? Let's see.
He'll hit the body of fucking 31-year-old, doesn't he?
He'll know what we've got underneath the jumpers.
No.
No chance.
What's that, love bite? Love bite.
Fucking hairy belly buttons and fucking wee man bibs.
Have you done your caterpillar today? A wee bit for your... Have you done it?
I'm due a shave actually.
Well, I see your caterpillar.
No. I've not got a caterpillar, I've got the...
I can't imagine he's getting hairy pubes and all that.
Kev, 100%, man.
Aye.
Oh, you're the inside of the legs and what?
Aye. I don't shave.
See the ones at your leg. Oh, we got a guy there's a guy in the sauna, mate, and he opens it up, it's just coming out. Oh, mate.
Groin's like a council carpet on. Oh, mate, that's honestly so funny, man.
Yeah, I usually look at the type that's got it all shaved there.
Mate,
So, seriously, let's see your caterpillar.
No.
Have you got the caterpillar?
No, I'm bald, man.
He's got any fucking pubes in his face, what chance is it down there?
Ronaldo, he'll be top to toe.
He'll be
clean,
clean,
yeah.
he'll be clean.
he's got Brazilian, isn't he? He's got a wee strip.
Wee strip, the London strip. You know who else would be? I've seen Del McInnes on the telly the other night. He'll be shaved head to toe, Del.
Aye,
He's got
him.
Former's brought that, didn't he?
The Former's brought that into the game, didn't they? They would sit there in the shower after each game and fucking head to toe with the bick.
But mate, I remember seeing a boy Chibo, Italian, playing for us, signed his first day. Had a shower, went in the bathroom after he had his fit up on the sink like that, shaving his arse.
Aye, they love that.
First day in, not even like, I'm looking at him, not even
Not coming out.
like nothing's in and nothing's wrong.
Were you a hairy wee fucker when you played?
Mate, I've actually got no hairs on his head.
No, I can tell, aye.
No hairs on the arse or anything.
Wait, have you no arse then, no?
Andy, he shaves his and then puts them on his head.
I've got a hairy ass.
Aye, I've got a hairy bum.
I'd like somebody to wax my arse. Seriously.
Well, say it to somebody.
Aye. Would they an open
I'd love
And
to
video
do
it.
I'd love to
charity?
do that.
Aye, you could do it.
Right, that's it on.
Mate, I was greeting them, man. That was brilliant.
Could Ronaldo make Man U win the league? No. They're not winning the league either.
Fucking hell.
Nah, no chance.
Why no?
Solskjaer.
That's
That's it.
Yeah,
That
it's a
was
problem.
painful. I mean, yesterday they shouldn't have won it.
I actually think it is, though. I think he gets a lot of praise for progressing the club, but just with their squad, mate,
had the
they've
billion
got to
quid
be
this year.
high.
I know.
Mate, they're starting 11 yesterday. I think every single player in it, except for about 2 or 3, cost at least 50 million.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mental.
Well, people go on about Guardiola spending money, but at least he fucking wins stuff.
Aye, aye.
They all do. They all spend millions.
Yeah.
I mean, his style of plays, I mean, it's so boring to watch.
Man, you're miles off it and they still.
Aye.
They have games where they're on it and Bruno Fernandes is unbelievable, Pogba's unbelievable, and they've got match winners, but in general, they're miles off.
That's the problem, man.
Chelsea.
They underperform most weeks, but they'll sneak a win that takes the gloss off of what should really be.
Will should have won that yesterday.
Aye, Will should have won it. Like the boy that the hair saving that, Jesus Lord. But he keeps getting away with it. Like he'll lose a couple of games and he'll go on a run. Like they now think they're on the longest away undefeated record. So that's making him look like he's doing an unbelievable job. But he'll finish second and he'll say, "Oh, we're unlucky because Man City spent whatever it is." He's just getting away with it, but like you says, they're low.
What is it they've not got? What is it they've not got a style of play?
Just didn't style of play at all.
I think they finished 4th as well.
Yeah.
Aye. I think Chelsea, Liverpool and City.
I think, do you know what? I think Liverpool might struggle.
Do you?
I think that's a crazy shout, but they're not recruiting at all.
It's been by Harvey Elliott.
It's been generally the same team for the last 3 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
That front three, and there's nobody really. I still think they need a centre forward. I know it's not the way they play and stuff.
No, you're telling.
He's a good player, but I think they need a proper centre forward that's going to bag them.
Aye.
I don't know. I think they do.
You always say that about Liverpool, like 1 or 2 injuries for certain players will be for a disaster.
And look,
like Van Dijk gets injured,
Can't happen.
they go for.
You've got Roy Evans playing centre.
They've got two. Can't rely on him all the time.
Roy's too old for that.
Too old for that.
Can't expect 38 games a season at Roy, man.
Liverpool's got too many tit for tat players with the tap around the 18-yard box, and then they never actually quite get anywhere. It's just pass. Whereas sometimes you see Trent on the ball and you think
He's
put it in.
He's brilliant.
Whereas Chelsea's got like Lukaku now, where they can mix it up both ways. He can roll it into his feet. He can roll defenders, or they can put it in and attack it. Liverpool don't have that.
Good done that.
Trent's the best right back in the world.
Wow.
Agreed.
He's
Do I agree?
mate,
I
maybe
don't
defensive and that, no, but see what
football,
I can watch him all day.
A good football.
Some of the stuff he does is unbelievable.
Yeah. What about Cavani's going to give Ronaldo 7 as well?
Good.
Game it.
But never think the same with Cavani again. Eh?
No.
He's just rolling over and getting his belly tickled.
I know what you mean.
Would you have gave up the 45?
fit at Celtic?
No, the 45 at Motherwell.
I'm not getting a
To get your belly tickled.
Has anybody ever
would
been
do it.
45 since you left?
Balotelli, wasn't he?
Who?
Balotelli, he was 45.
I bet Motherwell.
Oh,
Didn't
right,
play Motherwell.
No, I don't know, I think they retired.
Craig wanted
Retired
it,
it?
didn't he?
Did
Craig
he
wanted it
retire it?
after you, didn't he?
Aye, they retired it.
Retired it. Craig took 54.
Oh, the opposite way of it.
Just
No, but I don't know, but see with Cavani, I think, see if he's run about with 7 and Ronaldo's and the fans are on that, you're like, people start getting on him, I think.
Right.
I don't know, it's just something, he just gave
but CR7 no trademark, so it's going to have to be part of the deal.
Fuck him for it.
But if you just say
Tell
well,
Ronaldo
innit?
that. Tell Ronaldo that.
When was the last time you spoke to Craig?
Have to get him on.
Put a play it.
Have you not seen him for ages?
I was watching him for a while, wasn't I?
Craig.
What was the last time? When was the last time? Can you remember it? Have you ever bumped into him since?
No. I don't know how that would go.
What would you say? Would you go up to him? Have you seen him
I
at
think
a
you'd
distance?
crumble.
No, I wouldn't crumble, I would
I
speak
think
to
you
him. I still think he's got a place in the game. Actual in the game. Do you know
I
what I
heard
mean?
he's a good,
Coaching.
by the way, I heard he's a very good coach.
I've heard he has a good coach.
He won the Youth Cup with Motherwell, didn't he?
Did he, aye?
Yeah.
Is he still coaching
We
with
only have a
Motherwell?
laugh and he's a good guy, man.
Is he still coaching with Motherwell?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Reports suggest Pep's leaving in 2023.
I've heard
Sad.
rumour. Who's
Talking
replacing
about
him?
Brian Rice.
Right.
Brian
Oh,
Rice for the City.
thought it was Brian Kidd.
To be fair, Kiddo deserves his chance, doesn't he?
I think it's
Always a
the-
bridesmaid, never the bride. Bride.
What is his
So
role?
nobody ever looks at the bride at a
No,
wedding.
never.
Kiddo's got to be again a job now. He's done his
apprentice.
for 50 years, fuck.
30 years with Sir Alex and 10 with Guardiola.
What an apprenticeship he had.
Unbelievable.
No learned a thing, you know. I give me Brian Kidd, I think. Give him it. Deserves it. Fuck me, man.
What do you think, Brian? He would be get fucked 10 times.
He's a dinosaur, wouldn't he? See that Pep football? Fuck that. That'd be right. Fuck that. Passing it back.
Who will he go to? Aki's, Pep. Who do you think he'll go to?
He holds like culture, I think, doesn't he?
He actually should go and take a dog shit FC and see how good he can make them. How good would that be? A documentary on that. Pep goes and takes like fucking Barnet or something.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Do you think he could do it? Imagine he got Barnet up and won the English Premier League with Barnet in like 6 years.
Nah.
But obviously it's never going to happen.
Why? Why can he not do it?
Just
With no money.
No, but you get an ambitious club in League Two, like Salford or something.
Wrexham.
Wrexham or
The
something.
American owners.
do you think Guardiola's ever had that moment where the likes of maybe a Yogi Hughes or a fucking Chitlers had, where they're looking at their squad and thinking, I cannot be fucked here today? Do you think Guardiola's ever had that moment where he's looked at the Man City squad or the
No.
Bayern squad or the Barcelona squad and thought,
He loves it, mate.
aye,
He's actually never even worked with an average squad.
no.
Like that Barca team's
So what's he
the
got to
best
do? He's
team
going
I've
to
seen.
take the Spain job or something, and that's job. Has Spain got a lot of young
That's what he
up-and-coming
said.
players?
He
Is that
said he
what's
wants a
happening?
national job.
It's all about timing. Where
Said
they'll
he
time
wants
it
a-
right into Spain and they'll go and win like the Euros or something or the World Cup.
Says he
all of a
wants a
sudden
break.
they'll be like, oh, this is the Guardiola thing, or is it just because that's how I always see look at his moves?
I'd rather see him take a shit team.
I'd like to see imagine he took Man U. Could he turn that Man U team into?
Honestly, if he went, it might be amazing.
Well, yeah, that's my point. That would be
I'd love him to go and take like a Fun Force team up Cumbernauld. Just see where he can get them.
How he does with him, man.
Fun Force.
Imagine that, mate.
He can't beat the Fun Force, eh?
Or even like Talbot or something.
The Talbot.
Be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Just dealing with guys like
Darvel.
Jim McNally's got a chance for the City job then?
City could come in for that. What about Rodgers for Man City?
I think he fits the mould,
Fits the mould,
Not the same level as Pep, but he fits that mould. And I think Rodgers is, the way his careers went,
Ready for it.
ready for it. At Liverpool, maybe it was just a bit early. I don't know, maybe it wasn't, but because he done really well, and then Suarez left stuff, and then they brought in, Ricky Lambert to replace. Fuck me, man.
Remember that, Ricky Lambert?
What chance
By
did
the
he
way, see him in the lower leagues. What a player for the lower leagues.
Animal.
Bristol Rovers, oh my God.
He was a good player, but not at that level,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So I think Rodgers is probably that mould, but I don't think you'd play.
Rodgers and Kidd again, joint manager. Like
brilliant.
Evans and Hooley, that worked too.
The man that left Man City to go and get his.
the two Ross County boys.
That's right.
That would be a good team, innit?
Yeah.
What was that? Stuart Kettlewell and
If you don't know that.
Aye.
what's the other one?
Ferguson.
The hair. What's his name?
Let's say Britain.
I
can't remember.
Ferguson and Kettle was ahead.
Aye. What about your man that went away and did his apprenticeship with Guardiola? Went away to get the experience Arteta. He would probably think he was coming back. He's fucking.
Gary Megson.
Megson.
He's been out of game a while, hasn't he?
Gary Megson looks like he's
Apparently Aberdeen want him for.
Mate, that's what she says.
Steve Cotterill.
He looks like Longstaff's dad, doesn't he?
Mate, has Megson not had a job since...
West Brom.
Nah.
Was it West Brom his last
I
job?
think he was a manager in Farm Foods for a bit after that, wasn't he?
Gary Megson.
What a hero, but...
What was I going to say? I was
Back
going to say Arteta, man. Xhaka as well. What is Xhaka doing?
Yeah, Arsenal's fucked.
See with Xhaka, right? He knows he's getting sent off there.
He wants
Nothing else is going to happen if he do that. Why is he wanting sent? Why is he doing that?
He's wanting sent off because they've lost the first 3 games, no scored a goal. They're playing Watford and Brighton the next 2 games, I think it is, and they're going to lose them 2, and then they're 5 games down the relegation.
He's wanting Brian Kidd as the Arsenal manager. That's what he's doing. He's trying to get.
Keown's been passed, hasn't he?
Tony Adams coming back.
I
think Nigel Winterburn's in as well for it.
But I still listen. But see, Arsenal, massive.
A big club.
A massive club, but that stadium, it's amazing. It'd be amazing to play that, but the decisions get made. I mean, I think for the last, we go back to the last 10 years, it seems like you see the same things about Arsenal, doesn't it? Soft and...
Oh, mate, the softest team I've ever seen.
Aye.
Chambers getting slapped, mate, to lie on the ground while he...
I know.
Unbelievable.
Get up,
But you look
man.
at guys like I just think that, there's talk about obviously Conte's available, isn't he? He would probably change mentality, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
I felt for Arteta last year because he came in, squad wasn't great, seems just a lot of unrest. But see the money he spent this summer on players that like.
I don't even know if the money they spent is if are these players actually going to go into the first team they're going to play? That seems to be the players have got, and they're not a stage.
The boy Odegaard went on loan last year and was average. Like, not going to take him at the next level and based on his performances last year, then he paid 30 million for him. Ramsdale's been relegated 4 years in a row. Paid 30 million for him a year after the team that get put down paid 80 million for him.
50 million for Ben White when you're paying 43 for Varane.
Wild.
Sums up, doesn't it? Boys,
it's been a pleasure.
I want to keep going, mate. It's been fun to do, man.
I don't.
What are you doing for the rest of the day?
By the way, we need to talk about it, boy. We need to talk about him. Cal had flying,
Yeah?
Cal, man of match yesterday.
Was he?
Do you know what?
No, centre half captain.
Do you know what I was going to say to you?
Leader legend,
Mental.
isn't
I was going to say to you, but Cal, I don't understand how he's not been in a Scotland call-up or even close to it. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
He's probably close to it.
Now I'd agree with you. Because I left-footed centre half as well.
And he played for it at the back, so it was suit.
But I still, even saying that to you, mate, it just feels so weird. Still saying he's a centre half.
I know, I can't take
How
that
can you go for a
serious
right wing? How can you go for a right winger or a striker up to 25-year-old?
He used to be a winger because we used to play against him.
Pompey was winger or striker, aye.
And he knocked us out of youth cup.
Who was it you said he was doing one? He done one-to-one to learn how to play centre half. Who was that again? Was it Brucey?
No, it was Parley, wasn't it?
That's why his hair blew off. Brucey kept farting his hair blew off.
Gary Palace.
By the way, international football's killing it, innit?
I hate that. Have we got a week off next week? Or we got
No chance. We're on here.
Talking about it. We're going to do a full thing on Brian Kidd. Full podcast on Life and Times with Brian Kidd.
It's time, mate.
Can't wait.
He's coming, though, isn't he?
He's coming. Brian Kidd's coming.
1948, get his first job at Man U.
What's wrong?
Retired from football in the 1933 and coached ever since.
Do you know what films I've been watching? Planet of the Apes, unreal.
Good,
Average.
Do you like them? mate?
James Franco.
Good film.
Nah, good film. What's the monkeys called? The main one?
Caesar.
Caesar.
I think the second one's the best. Cobra. How scary he is.
Is that your favourite film?
I'm enjoying him at the moment.
I'm watching Succession just now on Sky.
Yeah,
Good.
good.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Succession.
What's that about?
Brilliant, mate. Brian Cox, Scottish guy's head of a media company in America. Family and all are fighting. It's brilliant, mate.
Is it good, Aye?
Succession. I've heard,
What's his last name again?
anyone heard of White Lotus?
White Lotus?
White Lotus, nah.
Shite.
It's a new show on
Very shite.
Speculative on HBO.
Oh, brilliant.